So good evening and welcome to the DHV Spirituality and Healing Meet. I'm Shashi Dhar, your host. And today the agenda for the session is the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, Pratyahara. Now, when you hear this word Pratyahara, what comes to your mind? Anybody? What comes to your mind when you hear this word Pratyahara? We have already covered, just to do a quick recap, we have already covered the first four limbs, which is Yam and its 5 parts. Then Niyam, again, five subparts of it. Then we did Asana, and then we have done Pranayama. So this is what people normally understand what yoga is. Asana and Pranayama, right? So these are the outer limbs of yoga, we call that. Now we are going to look at the fifth limb, which is Pratyahara. So who would like to share? What comes to your mind? What is your understanding? Whatever is your understanding, let's have some sharing. What is Pratyahara? Yeah.
Go
ahead, Tony.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Pratyahara is non-accumulation.
No. That is non-accumulation is the fifth part of the Yam, which is basically the do's and the don'ts or the rules for the outside world.
Sorry.
So
that is aparigraha.
That is aparigraha. We are talking of the fifth major limb. Okay. So, okay, I'll set the ball rolling by giving you the first definition of Pratyahara. Pratyahara basically means turning inside of the senses. Okay? Turning inside of the senses.
Yes.
Our 5 senses, we are all aware of our 5 senses. What is the nature of their action? What is the nature of their activity? Eyes look out in the universe. The ears hear the voices or the noises which are coming from the outside world. Correct? Similarly, the nose smells anything that is outside. Correct? Similarly, the touch, we feel hot, we feel cold, we feel, something painful. So whatever. So we feel the outside world in the form of these senses. So these 5 senses are actually giving us the sense of the outside world. Right or wrong? Right?
Right.
And as long as we are looking into the outside world, the equation is that we will always be Baharmukhi. Baharmukhi matlab you're always looking into the outside world. So everybody okay with that? What I'm saying? Yeah. Why this video's gone off? Please switch on your videos and connect. Yeah. Because anyway, my internet is very, very unstable. I don't even know whether I am on the net or not.
Shashi, this is not the video of this is your video. Internet is unstable. Everybody is on the video. It may look to you that the people are not on the video.
Okay. I got that. Okay, fine. So
maybe you can switch the mobile one also, Shashi.
No, that will be tough. Let me check again. Today it has been very weak since morning. In fact, since yesterday. Okay, am I audible now? Is it okay?
Yes, you're audible, absolutely.
Okay, fine, great. So we are talking of Pratyahara, right?
Yeah.
It is showing unstable. I don't know. Anyway, that's fine. So what we are trying to show is the senses take you into the outside world. Senses give you a sense of what is happening in the outside world, and mind follows it. So your mind is drawn into the outside world. That is the nature of the 5 senses. It takes us completely, we get sucked into the outside world with the senses. So if you are following the senses and the senses are not in your control, what will happen? You will get completely blown away into the, or you get completely stuck into the outside world. How many of us can understand this? Easy to understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So now when Pratyahara, what it means, you are turning the senses inward. Now, it doesn't mean that you pluck out your eyes and put it upside down. No, nothing like that. Huh? What you are going to do is, you are going to basically put a filter on what you are seeing in the outside world, what you are hearing from the outside world, and how it is being processed in your mind. That is what it means. Okay. So how many of us know that? How to put a filter on what you are seeing or what you're. These are basically the 2 senses which actually are very, very powerful. What you hear and what you see. Everybody okay with me? No?
What is the question?
Smell? The smell, the taste, and the touch is of lesser importance when it comes to the first two senses, which is the sight and the hearing.
Yeah.
So what you see and what you hear is very, very important in your life. So the first step of turning inside the senses will be to put a filter on what you are seeing and put a filter on what you are hearing. सुना है ना आपने ये? अच्छा सुनो, अच्छा देखो, तो क्या होगा? कुछ अच्छा प्रोसेस होगा, अच्छा सोचोगे, फिर अच्छा बोलोगे और फिर कुछ अच्छा करोगे. Making sense? So I don't agree with what traditionally has been said. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सुनो. So we need to change a little bit. क्योंकि बुरा मत देखो means you are still focusing on bad. So you will find out something bad and then watch it. Bura mat suno, again you will find something bad and then you will say it or you listen to it. So you have to listen to what is good. You have to see what is good and also the effect of your company. इसीलिए सत्संग बोलते हैं ना, जैसा संग वैसा रंग. हाँ, सुना है सब? So this makes a lot of sense. This is how you turn your senses inward. First you have to block all the negativities. सारी negativities को block करना है. तो आपको सबसे पहले क्या करना है? अच्छा देखना है, अच्छा सुनना है. क्या होगा उससे? अच्छा सोचोगे, अच्छा बोलोगे और अच्छा करोगे. So thoughts, words and action, which is actually your karma, will be directly impacted by what you're seeing and what you're hearing. How many of you can get it? Making sense? Good. So this is the first step of at least putting a filter on what you're seeing and what you're hearing. But still it is in the outside world, right? Pratyahara doesn't mean this actually, but this is a preparation for Pratyahara. Pratyahara का मतलब क्या है? Senses को अंदर की तरफ मोड़ना है. Now you are not looking at the outside world of vastu, vyakti, paristhiti. What are you looking at? You are looking at man, buddhi, chit aur ahankar, the inside world. That is what is Pratyahara. Okay. So what is the significance? Why look at it? क्या बेवकूफों की तरह अंदर देखना है? हड्डी मांस थोड़ी ना देखना है मेरे को बाहर की दुनिया बहुत अच्छी लगती है. हाँ, घूमना फिरना पसंद है. Yes, Leslie. घूमना फिरना पसंद है, बाहर की दुनिया अच्छी है, तो देखो बाहर की दुनिया को, एंजॉय करो. So I am happy with the outside world. Why should I turn myself inside? Why this need? क्यों चाहिए? Anybody who can tell me why this Pratyahara is put in the fifth limb? ऐसा क्या हो गया? नहीं चाहिए मुझे अंदर देखना. मुझे बाहर की दुनिया से खुश हूँ, बाहर मुखी हूँ मैं, मेरे को अंतर्मुखी नहीं बनना. Which is, by the way, 99% of the population on this planet Earth are doing that only. It is only that selected 1% who are actually interested and passionate about looking inside. What do you want to look inside? Give me one reason.
For mental peace.
Mental peace. Mental peace के लिए अंदर जाने की क्या जरूरत है? कहाँ जाओगे अंदर?
Into our thoughts.
Into your thoughts. You are already into your thoughts. That is why you are running outside.
No,
your
but
thoughts are only taking you outside now.
We are not happy with the thoughts, so maybe introspect the thoughts to know whether they are right or wrong.
Okay. So good answer. It will lead to Swadhyaya. That is one important aspect of it. Why do Pratyahara? Because it will do some self-introspection. You can do some kind of Swadhyaya, self-study. वरना normally हम क्या करते हैं? पर अध्याय, दूसरों को अध्ययन करते रहते हैं. तेरे को झूठ बोलना छोड़ना है. You should speak the truth. You should behave properly. So we are always outside trying to correct the people. बाहर की दुनिया में हम corrections कर रहे हैं. So Pratyahara will take you inside. You can do some Swadhyaya and look at what is the correction to be done inside. So that's a good answer. Okay. But still more. Think more. और क्यों जरूरी है? Why Pratyahara? This is one good reason. Another reason. Give me another reason.
जब एक्सटर्नल एक्सपीरियंसेस से जब दुखी हो जाते हैं तो इंटरनल देखने की जरूरत पड़ती है.
बाहर सोल्यूशन नहीं मिल रहा है. बाहर सोल्यूशन नहीं मिल रहा है तो अंदर देखो. हाँ, तो हिट एंड ट्रायल मेथड चल रहा है. बाहर कुछ नहीं है तो अंदर ही चले जाओ. Okay, not a bad idea, by the way. That is the actual reason. When you have suffered enough, then you actually get disillusioned. सुना है ना word? World is an illusion. So you will break away from the world only when you are disillusioned by the world. When you say, "Isme kuch rakha hi nahi hai." Go on mute somebody. Go on mute.
Dr. Alok, kindly mute yourself. Dr. Alok?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If there is a disturbance, just check and go on mute. Yeah. When you want to speak, you can unmute yourself. So yeah, so we are talking of why go inside. You will go inside when there is a total disillusionment. World is an illusion. सुना है हमने. वो experience में आना चाहिए. And when all your hopes are shattered, when you're completely disillusioned कि इस दुनिया में कुछ रखा ही नहीं, हम उठाने की बात नहीं कर रहा. जयवंत बोल रहे हैं दुनिया वाले उठा ले मुझे ऊपर वाले, नहीं वो नहीं बोल रहे. हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? When you feel that the outside world has no promise, that is when actually when you lose all hope, there is a sudden disaster or there is a sudden failure or some tragedy, then most of the people take a introspection path and then you actually do pratyahara. So that is an important situation which will force you to do introspection. But again, the reason is the same. The reason I'm asking is why pratyahara? Why pratyahara? Yes, Sumeji.
To seek the truth.
To seek the truth. Okay. So when you are disillusioned, it is building on that. When you are disillusioned by the outside world, you want to know what is the truth. This cannot be the truth. This is not the truth of my life. I'm not here to face disasters and miseries in my life. Something else is there. Let me find out the truth. And then you turn yourself inside. Good, Umeshi, very good. But still, these are situations which will turn you inside, which will force you to go inside. Why pratyahara? Think.
To find out why am I here, what is my purpose,
okay,
and what am I?
Okay, good. So that is again the finding out the truth, right?
Yes.
What Umeji said, you're just building on that. So very good. Good thinking. But this is what will happen after you do pratyahara. You will find out the truth. So it is good answer. To find out the truth, you need pratyahara. You will turn inside. Okay, let me put it this way. When you do pratyahara, you get a holistic view of life. Let me explain what I mean. When you are looking at the outside world, only at the outside world, you are having one view of life. It is not the complete view. It is not the truth. So when you start turning your mind inside or start turning your senses inside and mind is turned inside, inwards, introspection, swadhyaya, self-analysis, self-study, you get a holistic view of life. What is that? So let me tell you a small story. Everybody must have heard of it. How many of you have heard the story of an elephant and 5 blind men trying to explore what is elephant? Everybody knows that? So I don't have to tell you the story, right?
No, you have to tell once again.
Okay, you have to tell. Okay. So the story goes like this. There are 5 blind men and they are put in a situation where they're trying to explore the animal called elephant. Okay. So the one blind man who is actually touching the elephant's feet. He touches, feels, and then he comes to a conclusion. Elephant is like a tree trunk because he is exploring the feet. Right? So elephant is like a tree trunk. Concluded. Stamp approved. Perception made. Elephant is like a tree trunk. Another blind person who is at the back is examining the tail. He says, elephant is like a snake with a brush, kind of a thing. So it is like a, whatever you can think of, a rope with a brush-like thing at the end. So that is what is elephant. Somebody who is looking at the body of the elephant says, elephant is like a hard wall. बहुत पक्की दीवार जैसी है. Some hard wall is there. Very hard skin, so it is very, very tough and very hard. So that is what is elephant. Somebody who is, one person who is in the front looks at the, क्या बोलते हैं उसके, हाथी के दांत, and he says it is like a sword. Elephant is like a sword. That is what his understanding is, right? Now, are they giving a complete truth? What they're saying is not wrong. It is partial truth, but it is not the whole truth. They're all, in a way, looking at the outside world. When you are focusing only on the outside world, you get only a half picture or a partial picture of what is life. It is not wrong, but that is not the complete truth. When you start looking inwards, and when you start exploring who am I, what is the real truth about me, when you actually walk on the spiritual journey, that is when you realize you get the holistic picture. Okay, bahar ki duniya, vastu, vyakti, paristhiti, people, situations and things. Inside world, it is ego, emotion, intellect, and all the imprints which are in my memory or in my chit. And my inside world is actually giving me the experience of the outside world, right? That is the truth we are looking into. This is a holistic view. This gives you some idea of moving towards the ultimate truth. So that is why Pratyahara is so very important on the spiritual journey, because it takes your mind from the outside world to the inside world, and you actually know that you are causing the outside world to appear in your life, which is also explained by the law of attraction. How many of you can connect with what I'm saying? So your inside world is actually manifesting the outside world for you. The inside world, मन, बुद्धि, चित्त और अहंकार जो है आपका, वो आपकी बाहर की दुनिया, वस्तु, व्यक्ति, परिस्थिति की दुनिया manifest कर रहा है. It is a reflection. Outside world is just a reflection of your inside world. So if there is turmoil and confusion in the outside world, don't go out and try to adjust the outside world. You have to go inside and clear your inside world. Outside world will be taken care of. That is the power of Pratyahara. That is the importance of Pratyahara. Okay, so before I move forward, any questions? Anyone who has any kind of doubts or any questions you have, please ask. Then we move on.
Shashi,
Yeah.
when you said that we must look at good things, hear good things, speak good things. So what you're saying is, in the outside world, agar kuch cheez, let's say for instance, sahi nahi hai or bad hai, so you must avoid it. Or is that what you're saying? Because there will be good and bad, both will be there.
Yes, both will be there. You're absolutely right. So what we are talking of is not to ignore or avoid negativity, but to focus on positivity. Okay. For example, now there is a what we normally discuss. Suppose X and Y are talking. Okay. We are talking of the outside world. We are talking of let's talk of disasters. So the flood situation in Bangalore, possibly, or the war situation between Russia and Ukraine. Okay. So there is a lot of negativity around, and you are pouring in more. Politics, you discuss politics, it is all negative, right? So you are indulging unnecessary into a negative conversation. So you are thinking negative, you are speaking negative, because you are seeing negative, you are hearing negative. Correct? But in that process, what is happening? What is being processed is negative. So you are becoming more and more negative inside, and that will attract more negative situation outside. So you are caught in a virtually a loop where you will become more and more negative. Correct? And you will attract those kind of people only then, negative people. So more negative people will come and more negativity will be churned out. Instead, you are here in a session today, right? What are you hearing here? You are looking at positive. You are hearing positive. What will happen? You will process something positive and you will do some introspection. So you will do something positive. So you are moving into the positive loop now. So you will slowly become positive from inside and you will attract more positive situation outside. So it's not to avoid, but to make an impact in the outside world, you need to be more powerful than the situation, right? If you want to impact a negative situation outside, you have to be 100% more positive. Then only you can impact that. Otherwise, you will be sucked into that negativity. Yes or no? So that is what I mean. So we are on a journey where we are moving from the lower consciousness to the higher consciousness. That is what the spiritual journey is. So we have to make conscious efforts to become more positive and positive and positive and positive and move forward. That is the journey we are in. Yes? Good. So did I answer your question, or you want to say something? Good. All right. Yes, Leslie, go ahead.
We are kind of stuck in good and bad. I mean, if we are going inside and observing, because for somebody watching a program of spirituality could be not beneficiary, and he would consider that as a waste of time, and he would say, rather, I would like to earn more money. I would like to spend more time. So for him, spending more time in business or politics would be good. So I personally don't think that good and bad is the reason that we introspect. We go inside to observe what's happening, rather good or bad. And whatever is happening is we need to be looking at it, looking at both of the things in equanimity.
Equanimity is what we are looking to arrive at. This is the path to go there.
Equanimity
you are 5 steps ahead. Only thing is that what you're
okay,
saying is absolutely perfect.
Because the moment you say good or bad, the bad gets created or the good gets created because of the bad. So like it's basically the opposites of the same coin. You can never.
I got that, Leslie. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is that we are moving from the outside world to the inside world. We have to go step by step. You have just gone 5 steps ahead. If you are talking of equanimity, you're going 5 steps ahead. I'm coming to that. Just hold on. Yeah. So you're right. What you said is absolutely right. But why will you look for inside world is when you are totally disillusioned from the outside world. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're very happy, if somebody is earning money in business, having a great life, personal life, great relationship, great health, great wealth, he will not be bothered in this lifetime to look inside. Do you agree with me? He has no reason to look for inside. He will not. Unless he is a Siddharth. Who renounces his kingdom and goes inside. See, everybody has a journey, but on the face of it, I'm saying most of the people, if they are happy with the outside world, will not look inside.
Let me kind of explain my understanding, and that is that why would, if I want to know anything about the room which is next to me, I need to go in that room to find out what it is. So it's very simple to understand what I am or about myself. The whole journey is about myself. I need to go in myself. And why I need to close my eyes and sit and introspect and go inside is because the world outside is a complete distraction, and it takes takes my energy away. And when I close my eyes and I sit in silence and I look into myself, then all my distractions get cut off, and my entire attention is within myself to be observing what's going on within me. So to know myself, I need to go within myself.
I understand, Leslie. Sanjeev, what is your take on this? You would like to say something?
So what Leslie says is absolutely appropriate, because moment if we talk about good or bad, we are into a state of judgment. That's very true. But when we are talking from the perspective of Pratyahara, my point of view is that while we are into the materialistic world, till we reach to that stage of being neutral, so we would be in a stage of some judgment of good or bad, right or wrong. Usne ye bol diya, usne aisa kar diya, something. So only that way, one perspective, till we are into materialistic, we're into that mode. Otherwise, moment we go to the neutral level, my thinking is then there's nothing good, nothing bad. We always talk about it. That's what I said.
Okay, got it. Perfect. Amitji, anything you would like to share? What is your view?
I think what he said is actually one of the last few steps in the 8 limbs journey. But I think that I have been able to. So I think there are 3 components that we are made of: body, mind, and soul. So body has these 5 sensory organs. Now, after we would have probably worked enough on the first 4 limbs, in the 5th limb, what it tries to put is that rising up from the body sensory organs and actually even from the mind level, but actually reaching the soul level and just observing without making any judgment, without, as I say, probably reaching a stage where there is no difference between movement and stillness also. So absolutely judgmentless. But in the journey, somewhere in the process, looking at the positive aspects of life, what Sylvia, started to ask this question and we started this discussion. But somewhere in the process, we need to also consume the relevant and the positive information through these 5 sensory organs. And then there would be a stage when we realize that even this has to be dropped. And ultimately, soul is something which is going to be non-judgmental. And then the next 3 steps will come into picture, which is concentration, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi.
Perfect. Okay, so let me just give you a summarization of what we have discussed so far. We were talking of Pratyahara, which is the 5th limb. And my point is that most of us have already covered till samadhi, right? Dharana, dhyana, samadhi we have already done. So that is why we are already coming from there. So you cannot come from there when you're talking of Pratyahara. Why Pratyahara? When we are dwelling into this observation, then you are right now, you are aware of only the first 4 steps, which is the outside limb. Okay. So we are only aware of the asana and pranayama, and then we are moving inside now. So don't talk of equanimity, samadhi and all that, because it will be a diversion. वो आगे आएगा, वो अभी नहीं आ सकता. अभी प्रत्याहार की बात कर रहे हैं. Turning inside, why is that important? What it will give you and what will be the next step. That is what is pratyahara, right? So pratyahara, what I'm trying to say is that outside world doesn't give you the complete picture. When you look at the inside world, it gives you a holistic picture. And that holistic picture will actually give you that, you can say sakshi bhav or the samta or the equanimity, which is important for you to get non-attached or detached from the outside world, and then go on to the next step, which is dharana, where you are manifesting your desires. So if you want wealth, manifest wealth. If you want relationships, manifest relationships. That is dharana, correct? And when we move on to dharana, this holistic view is important. That is why pratyahara is very, very critical at the 5th limb. That is the importance. That is what I was trying to say. Right? So I hope everybody is okay with this, what we are discussing. Yeah, Leslie? It's okay? No? Okay, fine. So we will take it on discussion later on. Okay? Otherwise, this is not going to, this half an hour is too less for us. Yeah? All right. So now we are going to talk of, when we are talking of pratyahara and you get a holistic view, that means you are now aware your outside world is a reflection of the inside world. Now, what to do in the inside world so that I can make my life, you can say, with abundance of love, peace, and happiness, and also manifest my desires, also go on my spiritual journey to the next step of dhyan and samadhi, or rather the ultimate samadhi. We're talking of maybe nirvana or moksha or samadhi, whatever we are talking of, right? Now, when we come to that, let us understand this. When we meditate, जब हम ध्यान पे बैठते हैं, meditate करते हैं, so we often say that when you look into yourself, you see yourself or the image of God, which is actually what we're talking of is self-realization. So let us understand it this way. If you are looking into a lake, okay, everybody can picturize a lake. Imagine there are 2 lakes. One lake is absolutely clear water, crystal clear water and still. And the second lake is very muddy and very turbulent. Can you visualize these two? Visualize these two. One lake is absolutely crystal clear and water is absolutely still. And the second lake, water is very muddy, dirty, and completely turbulent. Now, if you look into the water, where are you going to see the image? Which means when you look inside, when will you realize God? In which water you will see your reflection? That is the symbolic way of putting. When will you realize God? Get that? Picture clear? किसमें दिखेगा आपको? इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं होना चाहिए वैसे, है ना?
When it is still, it is like a mirror.
Yeah. So you will see yourself like a mirror in that lake, which is absolutely clear water, crystal clear water, and still you will see yourself. You will realize God, and you will actually move on to the path of higher path, what we are talking of. From Pratyahara, you can easily move on to Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Get that clear? But in Pratyahara, if you look inside and then what you find? Muddy water, very turbulent. Can you see your image? No, you can't. What is the problem here? Number one, water is dirty. Number 2, water is turbulent. Now change this water into mind. Okay. If you want to realize God, what is going to do? Your mind has to be absolutely clean and still. But right now the situation is, when you are turning inside, what is happening? Mind is absolutely muddy, right? Dirty world. Why dirty? Because of all the desires, right? And it is very, very turbulent, which is, it is very restless. It can't sit at a place. So if the mind is restless and if the mind is full of desires, Pratyahara won't lead you anywhere. You have to do a lot of sadhana and get into a proper situation where you can train your mind to move to the next step, which is dharana. So we'll talk of the next steps later. But right now, consider this example which I've given you. So at the stage of Pratyahara, the sadhak who is seeing himself in a clear water, in a still mind, will be able to move faster. Whereas a sadhak who is seeing dirty mind and highly restless mind, dirty mind means, don't take it the other way, it is basically full of desires, right? So full of desires or full of, you can say, vikar. Vikar kya hote hain hamare? There are 6 major vikar jo hum bolte. Vikars are like, you can say, poisons or kleshas, we call that. Okay. So vikar is basically some sanskar which is based in tamogun or rajogun, which will not allow you to go to the higher consciousness. So what are these? Anybody who knows what are the vikars? So we're going to see why the mind is polluted or dirty and why the mind is restless. Because these vikars are so, nature of these vikars is such that it will make you restless. That is why this mind has to be this has to completely leave your chit or leave your memory. That is why this is so powerful. So you have to first do the introspection, where Pratyahara will take you to the introspection stage and find out what is it in your inside world which is causing this turbulence and causing these desires. So in Shastro mein hamare jo bola gaya hai, that is Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Mad, Matsar. Everybody has heard of this? These are the vikars that we normally say in our sanskars. So just give you a small translation for Nikita. Okay. So Kam is called for desires. It is, of course, first direct translation means lust, but it can be any form of desire. Okay. So Kam means desires. Krodh means rage. Krodh means not anger. Anger is taken to the next level, so it is rage. Okay. Kam, Krodh, Moh. Moh is attachment. Attachment, attraction, whatever you can say. Okay. Lobh. Lobh is greed. Mat is your ahankar or your ego, different flavors of ego, right? And Matsar is total aversion, hatred, envy, jealousy. Get that? So these are the vikars which are poisoning you from inside. And this is what is creating in the outside world. You have to get rid of this. And that is what will decide what kind of sadhana is going to put you forward on the journey to Samadhi, which is your ultimate destination. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe in next lifetime, or many other lifetimes. Okay. So what is really important? What is really important? When you are at Pratyahara stage, what you need to develop to get rid of these vikars. Now these are not good or bad. These are vikars, simple. And the nature of the vikar is that if it gets triggered, it will make you in a state of dis-ease, which can further lead to maybe illness or disease or whatever. So you are moving away from ease to disease. And the moment the vikars are out of your system, you will become at ease. And that can lead to contentment and happiness and move you forward in your journey. Point is very clear. You remove these vikars, the water becomes a pure lake. Water is still and clear and pure. These vikars are there, it will be muddy and it will be very turbulent. Can you move forward? Can you see your image there? No, so you can't move forward. So the whole process of any kind of sadhana that we are doing is based on what kind of pratyahara is done, what kind of swadhyaya is done, or what kind of sadhana is being taken up. So it could be meditation, it could be pranayam, it could be anything. right? It could be Raj Yoga, it could be Bhakti Yoga, it could be Karma Yoga, it could be Jnana Yoga, whatever you want to do. It could be Vipassana, it could be anything. But whatever is cleansing you from inside, from these vikars, will move you forward. That is the point, and that is the importance of Pratyahara. Right? So that was the Gyan session for today. Though it has gone a bit longer than what I expected. I thought half an hour, but yes, it has gone a bit forward for that. That's fine. Any questions? Anything that you're not clear? We will take this on for the next session also. Because
can there not be contentment, Shashi, if there's a balance between the vikars and the, what is the other thing? मतलब अगर हमारे में थोड़ी सी मतलब can't there be a balance and yet be a person be content?
Balance between what?
तो completely remove करें, then only we'll be content.
No, contentment can come at any level, provided you are moving on the journey upwards. If you are stuck in these vikars, you will not. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. See, what is the nature of these vikars? What is the nature of these vikars? कोई भी विकार अगर आएगा, उसका nature है, it will make you desperate and frustrated. Can you imagine this? You have heard about Mahabharata, right? You have heard about Mahabharata. Can you imagine the nature of Duryodhana? Highly restless. Why? Full of desires, full of negativity. मेरा है, मेरे को चाहिए, भाड़ में गई दुनिया, मैं सुई की नोक का राज्य भी नहीं दूंगा उनको. That is the kind of jealousy, and that is the kind of क्रोध and calm and moh and love, everything was there. You can see that. Yeah, ego, fully egoistic, and 100% envy for jealousy for Yudhishthira and Pandavas. You could go to any extent, right? So when these, where is the balance? Tell me, how will Duryodhana find a balance? That vikar has to go out. Only then you will have some kind of peace. There is poison inside. Poison है अंदर, जहर है अंदर, balance कहाँ से लाओगे बताओ? अगर वो trigger हो गया, उसके केस में तो सारे triggered थे. Normal human being can find a balance as long as it is not triggered, because it is in a dormant state. It's not that it is hyperactive all the time. अब मेरे अंदर गुस्सा है, ये थोड़ी ना हमेशा ही गुस्सा रहता है 24 घंटे. पर अगर वो trigger हो गया, तो जो peak पे आएगा, then I can do anything in rage, which is happening in road rage, right? You take an iron rod and smash the head of the other person. It's a split second rage. It's not 24 hours rage. But क्रोध है, संस्कार अगर वो जागृत हो गया, then it is not going to have any kind of balance in you, right? Similarly, lust. So you can easily visualize it, right? So all the rape, murders, all these are happening because of a fit of rage. So calm, krodh, very, very critical. Greed, all the disputes, property disputes are basically rooted in greed, right? Where is the balance? How can you find a balance? Tell me. But it is not triggered 24 hours. That's all I'm saying. So a person can be in balance, just like me. But if it gets triggered, then we are in trouble. Then there is no balance. So vikar has to be rooted out. This rooting out can happen only at the level of pratyahara, when you turn yourself inside and then look at what is actually the botheration. ये सारे छह नहीं होंगे. Duryodhana was an exceptional case, right? Kans was an exceptional case. Normal human being will have one or two vikars which are predominant. Just check, go into your introspection mode, find out which one is bothering me. And even if it is ego, which flavor of ego is bothering me? Is it superiority or is it inferiority complex? Is it aggressiveness or is it defensiveness? Okay, like you are panicky, anxiety, victim. Are you being a victim or are you being an aggressor? Get that? Are you villain? What is that ego which is actually getting triggered? Work on it. At least you know where to work. That will happen when you do pratyahara. And that will happen when you do the swadhyaya. That is why this step is very important. So did I answer you, Sylvia? Great. Anybody else who wants to know something? Ask any question. So today it was more like a monologue from my side. Huh? Not many discussions came up. And Leslie is not happy with the discussion anyway. Okay. Any question?
And would you want to, so I can say something. Would you want to maybe also say a few things about how do we place Drishta Bhav into this entire dynamics?
Yeah, I'll touch that. So what is the way out, if you ask me? So the way out is, first look at the outside world without any bias or a judgment or label, which is tough because we have been brought up and we are grown up always with the labeling. Always, imagine the life of a child, always getting compared to his fellow students in his class, always getting compared to siblings, always getting compared to the neighbors, right? So child is always grown up with a feeling of what? Comparison. Society mind will always drill into you, and nobody tells you you are divine. What do they tell you? What do the people tell you as a child? You are stupid, तुम गधे हो, तुम पागल हो, तुमको अक्कल नहीं है, तुमको समझ में नहीं आती बात, तुम्हारे बस की नहीं है. All these stuff you are hearing, right? And all these are getting ingrained into you. So where is the case of any? There is no balance. Right from the beginning, you are out of balance, I will say. Now, when you are looking at Pratyahara, what you are going to look at is you have to be free from all the labels and all. You have to be free from all the labels which people have put on you. Tough, yes, tough. But then you have to come up with some kind of vision where you can say, okay, I am looking at it from a observer point of view. लोग क्या बोलते हैं, उनको opinion है. Let me look at life. Nothing right, nothing wrong. Now what Leslie said is absolutely right here. Nothing good, nothing wrong. Nothing right, nothing wrong, nothing good, nothing bad. Let me look at life the way it is. अभी क्या हो रहा है? I look at life in the present, not in the past, not in the future. अभी क्या हो रहा है? And I look at it from a Sakshi Bhav. That will give me a break from the outside world. Then I can go inside Pratyahara. So equanimity, what we talked of, will take you further up in the next step. Sakshi Bhav will move you forward in the next step of Ashtanga or towards Samadhi. So that balance, that will give you balance. So equanimity will not disturb you. It will not activate your sanskars of these vikars. These vikars will not get activated if you are looking at it from a Sakshi Bhav.
So
yeah.
Is there a difference between Sakshi Bhav and Drashta Bhav?
Same.
What is Sakshi Bhav? Please, I'm sorry to ask these questions.
See, there is one way of living life is like, I am the doer. So I am doing things. I'm doing things. And then when you are doing things, you're also receiving it, getting a result. So इसको बोलते हैं कर्ता भाव या बोलते हैं भोक्ता भाव. कर्ता भाव is I am the doer. Bhokta bhav is I am the experiencer. Observer is I am watching a movie called Shashi the Life. Movie is going on and I am watching it. So life में क्या हो रहा है? Though I am participating in it, but I am observing it. So I am not getting attached. So if it is a good scene, somebody has given me great appreciation and all, I say, okay, thank you. Somebody is cursing me, throwing abuses at me, I say, okay, thank you. So that is tough. But then that is what is observer. You're watching a movie, no? In a movie, many things can happen. Hero can be awarded the Paramveer Chakra. You are happy. Hero can be badly bashed by the villains. You are still sipping a coffee. अब जैसे शोले में है, ठाकुर के दोनों हाथ काट दिए गब्बर ने. You are watching it, cool. आग लग गई, मार दिया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, cool. So you are watching the movie like an observer. You don't jump up and down on the cinema hall, right? Because you know it is a movie. So watch your life like a movie. That is the observer. And that is what we actually get when we go into the practical experience of Vipassana, right? Sakshi Bhav. You start observing. So there are many people who have already done it, and Sanjeev is going there again, yeah? So I'll give Sanjeev 2-3 minutes of whatever he has to share before he takes this journey. And just for others who are not aware of it, let me see how many of us have done it. Leslie has done it, Sylvia ji has done it, Sanjeev has done it, and now I have also done it latest. No? All right, so 4 of us have done the Vipassana, and very powerful. In fact, all these what I'm sharing is actually the practical experiences of what I've got in that session, right? So being a Sakshi Bhav, it was very, very profound. I could actually watch, and after coming back, I've actually not reacted even till now, Sanjeev. I just wanted to share that, अभी तक मेरा कोई ऐसा कोई reaction नहीं आया जिससे मेरे को लगे कि मैंने react किया है. It's absolutely okay. Everything is okay. Right. So normally, I will get very excited and very panicky about things. So abhi sab cool hai. So I'm still in that Vipassana mode only. I'm still having my dinner the same way they give at 5 o'clock. Today in my Wednesday session, just before that, I was having the same kind of banana, milk, and murmure. Perfect. So
Shashi, you should go to sleep at 9 o'clock. You shouldn't have this session at 9 o'clock.
You tried to talk to me at 10 o'clock yesterday. You know what was the reply, right? I was about to crash. 10 o'clock is the last time I'm awake. Anyway. All right, good. So before we close, let's have some people share what is the takeaway from this session. And for those who are completely confused and could not get anything, don't worry. We are going to continue this discussion next time. I will take more experiences, and I will also organize my thoughts, because today I was just flowing. And since Leslie has come after a long time, so I was didn't want to break his flow of discussion. But so we went a bit out of the track, but that is perfectly fine. We will bring it on track in the next session. So let's have some quick sharings. What are you taking away from the session today? So first, let me take it from the people who have come after a long gap. So Shweta ji, what are you taking away from the session?
टेक अवे बहुत सारा कुछ नोट डाउन किया है ऑलरेडी. आई थिंक it is right now, it is very powerful for me about about learning pratyahar, learning about pratyahar, because बहुत सारी चीजें हो रही हैं, तो ये मुझे हेल्प करेगा इस टाइम पे. because मेरे को वही लगता है कि जब दो ही तरह से लोग कोशिश करते हैं इनसाइड देखने की, या तो बहुत स्ट्रगल किया हो, या फिर आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी कि हाँ मुझे जानना है कि ये होता क्या है. तो मोस्टली जो सफर करते हैं वही उन्हीं के बारे में मुझे पता है, क्योंकि सो ग्रेट लर्निंग. और मुझे लग रहा है कि ये जो हमने लास्ट में डिस्कस किया साक्षी भाव वाला, ऑब्जर्वर, तो आई विल ट्राई कि मैं भी ऑब्जर्व कर सकूं लाइफ को मूवी के जैसे.
Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Shweta, good. Very good understanding. Very good learning. Okay, and let's also hear from Kiranji. Kiranji, if you're there, you'd like to share something. What was the session? How was the session for you? Anything you would like to share? Okay, Nikita says her takeaway is the story of the two lakes. So the visualization was clear. Very good. Very good, Nikita ji. Good understanding. Yes, Kiranji, go ahead.
Yes, I was just saying that sometimes you hear what you probably, the question in your mind. And I was just thinking that sometimes when you go into yourself, your mind is not a comfortable place to be in. It's a little dark, it's, turbulent. So when you said that is, muddy waters, and that is the state, so then that was an understanding for me, because sometimes you wonder that why is it not always so comfortable to be inside yourself.
Absolutely. Perfect.
So that was interesting to hear that that's because of the kleshas.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you hear what you need to hear, and you're there at a place where you need to be there. That's what I felt. And the other thing is that I felt like being an observer to this first talk. I'm here for the first time. So I just felt like listening today. It was good.
Wonderful, wonderful, Kiranji. Very good. Let's acknowledge Kiranji for her sharing, and you're welcome to join our group and attend these sessions. These are weekly meetings, and we have these meetings every Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think
Kiran, I invited. She's my friend, childhood friend. We've been together since 3rd standard.
Thank you so much for being there. I thought normally this honor goes to Amit ji. I thought Amit ji ki friend.
Okay.
All right, great, Sylvia ji. Thank you very much for inviting your friend, and good. And very one thing which was very profound for what Kiranji said was, like when she said, never knew that mind is getting turbulent because of vikar. So one insight everybody should go out with if there is something troubling you, understand there is one vikar at play. Find out which one is bothering you. अगर आप व्याकुल हैं, ये natural law है, ये universal law है. If there is a vikar which is operative, it will make you desperate, it will make you frustrated, it will make you why. व्याकुल is the right word. विकार के साथ जो हमारे शास्त्रों में बोला गया है, विकार है तो व्याकुलता है, और वो व्याकुलता ऐसी है कि वो सिर्फ आपको ही व्याकुल नहीं करेगी, वो आपके जितने चारों तरफ हैं सारे लोग सबको व्याकुल करेंगे आप. तो चाहे वो काम हो या क्रोध हो या मोह हो या लोभ हो या राग हो या द्वेष, जो मर्जी हो, अगर विकार आया उसका नेचुरल स्वभाव है कि वो आपको व्याकुल करेगा, और वो विकार को निकाल दिया तो वो आपको सुख देगा. सिंपल. There are only two states of that vikar. If it is triggered, it will make you frustrated or desperate. If it is silent, it will give you happiness. But what we're talking of samadhi is that you're not going to quieten it, you are going to burn it. Ye samadhi. We will talk on this when we talk of samadhi, actually, when we reach there. So the distinction is very powerful. हमको उसको दबाना नहीं है, हमको उसको एलोपैथी देके दबाना नहीं है, दवाई देके हमको उसको जलाना है, और इसी को तपाना बोलते हैं, और इसी को तप बोलते हैं, और इसी को समाधि. तभी आप समाधि में जाएंगे. जब सीड को दबा के आप समाधि पे नहीं जा सकते, आपको सीड को जलाना पड़े. And that is the process of sadhana, and that is the process which will take you to samadhi. So we will discuss that in our subsequent sessions, but very important point, Kiranji said that, so I thought let me just mention that. Right? Good, Kiranji. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Anybody else who would like to share? No, I'm not going to everybody, but yes, Sanjeev, I will give you the opportunity at the last. Anybody else who would like to share? Sylvia ji, anything you would like to share?
I was present to, I mean, today something, I don't know, I don't want to get into a very long discussion, but today I had a discussion with my husband, and I came to know that last 4 years he's been having some issue which has had him agitated and in a very turbulent state. And today only he shared it, and I was listening to it from that of blame game. No, it took me a while to actually look inside. So that looking inside, and that brought peace. It brought peace for him because he was able to say it to me, and it brought peace because I was looking at it from I looked inside, and then I could see where I am at fault, or whatever I have been doing. That is what I was bringing in my surrounding. So
very good, very powerful. Yeah. So it was meant for you. This session was actually meant for you. So you take it that way. If there is anything which is disturbing your mind is polluted and mind is turbulent, there is a vikar which is operative. Find out. That is the homework for today. Next week we will look at what are the vikars and how to resolve it. Right? So that everybody is moving forward on the path of samadhi. Good, Sylvia ji, very good. Let's acknowledge. Yes, Alok ji. Hello, Gupta ji. Anything you would like to share?
It was a very nice session, but I'm trying to understand, and I think it will take some more time. But and I understood a few things, and I will try to go inside me.
Perfect. Do that. Any questions? You are free to feel free to connect with me one-on-one. Okay. So yeah, and Amit ji, is he in the group? He's not in the group, so you can also join our WhatsApp group. Amit ji will guide you. Yeah. So we'll do that so that you can be part of it, and next week attend the session regularly, because we do this regularly and discussion is on. So this week whoever attended will find it easier in the next week, because it will be a continuation.
I'll try to attend regularly.
Perfect. Welcome Alok ji. Good. Leslie, I will not ask you what is the takeaway. Anything you want to share in one line?
Not as such now.
My takeaway.
That's fine, Alok, that's fine. I'm asking Leslie now. Yeah.
My takeaway is that I need independent sessions with you.
Anytime, Leslie, you are welcome. You only went away. I was always there. We will have a Zoom session very soon. Yeah. So 1 hour for you. That should be sufficient. Yeah, just joking. Just call me. It is a 5 minutes job. I know. Not a problem. अब तो दोनों विपस्वी हो गए हैं ना. अब आराम से बात कर लेंगे. Yeah. All right. Good. So over to Sanjeev. Sanjeev, your final call and take, and anything you want to share before you are leaving for a long break. So anything you would like to share, go ahead.
Thank you, Shashi, for this session, especially at the moment before I'm going for Vipassana. So, and I would like to thank Leslie, because Leslie is the instrument for me to go to Vipassana for the second time. Leslie, you called me for the Sunday session, and that Sunday session was like a big boost for me. So thank you very much, Leslie. And this topic of discussion, what we had today, is actually which takes me to that journey in a very different manner altogether. And actually nothing to share too much, but it is really, we are progressing, all of us are progressing in this journey from the first limb to the fifth limb. And that's how. My only point is that if all of us are just trying to learn, or are we trying to implement? We have to just think of that, because that's the major critical thing. And good to see a lot of faces today after a long time, like Shweta came after a long time, Leslie came after a long time, Neetaji came after a long time. So, and Kiranji, welcome to this session.
Thank you. Thank you.
And probably I am going on a long trip. So next 3 Sundays, I am not able to conduct this session, because this Saturday I'm traveling, so I'll reach on Sunday. So I may not be able to conduct. And then 2 Sundays I'm into Vipassana. So next 3 Sundays I'm unable to do it. So probably we will land directly into next 101 session, physical session in the next month. That's the point which I see we'll meet there. Till then, thank you very much. And keep your journey continuing with Wednesday sessions. That's very, very critical. Thank you, Shashi. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev. So wish you all the best for a wonderful, enlightening Vipassana session, so that when you come back, you can share your experiences and, boost up our spiritual journey. So
Yeah.
thank you there. And now, and unless someone else has to.
Shashi, I want to also say, Shweta, for being present here, and great to see your lovely takeaways which you shared today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, so Amitji, would you like to share something, or I may make the closing? We have already 5 minutes over time, so I will take another 2 minutes time with everybody's permission.
So on the lighter side, dumping down. Yeah. So on the lighter side, dumping on the lighter side, dumping everything. Drashtabhav, Sakshibhav. I'm jealous that Sanjeev ji is going to Vipassana. I'm jealous. I'm being judgmental.
And especially the bigger jealous factor is I'm going to McLeod. That's the biggest.
My favorite place in India is Dharamkot, and that's where you're going, especially that Himalayan tea shop, Tushita, next door. Amazing place.
But one thing great I can see here is that next time when we go there, we will be 5 of us who can go there, right?
I will. I mean,
yeah, all 5 of us can go there, and meanwhile we will catch hold of Tony also. So it could be, he could be doing that for the first time. So we will all go there as a group, and then we enjoy it, right?
Tony,
all right.
Tony, you are on mute. Can't hear you.
Yeah, Tony didn't say anything. Tony, yes,
say yes. I said absolutely. Thumbs up for that.
All right, great. Wonderful. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you very much for your participation. It has been a wonderful experience for me as always. And I hope all this was valuable to everybody. Please do your homework, find out the vikas which is troubling you, so that next time we're going to fix this and see what kind of sadhana will help you to move ahead. So we're going to look at dharana. Okay. We're going to look at dharana next week. We will start that, but meanwhile, we'll continue with this Pratyahara. So with this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you very much. Enjoy a great week.
Thank you.
Aham Brahmasmi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good
Good night.